Hi, folks, and welcome back to the Star Wars Library, where Star Wars is in print. And today we're going to be looking at another newspaper strip, where we actually are almost done with the newspaper strips. And we're looking at a story from 1983 called A New Beginning by Archie Goodwin. Now, this story ran from October 3rd to December 25th, actually, of 1983. And it's in our Escape to Hoth trade paperback here. Like I said, we're almost done with the newspaper strips, and this is the last trade that we're going to be talking about. So, this story is about a ship that's approaching Hoth, and Luke and Han basically go up in orbit to check it out. And turns out that this ship is an enemy ship, and they're basically, they're trying to keep them away because they don't want word to leak to the Imperials that they're here. However, the people that they meet are very familiar. Turns out that Rascal, who we've met earlier in the strips, is in charge, and he wants the bounty on Han Solo, and so he is trying to basically capture Han and get him to Jabba the Hutt so he can get the money on that. So, but Rascal says, well, here's the thing. If you want me to forget that I found you, give me your reward, because he assumes that Han must have some reward, right? He's done all this stuff from the rebellion and stuff like that. Now we know that Han has lost the reward because of Crimson Jack. There's a little bit of confusion here, like when does Han actually accumulate that money back? We see things later on, such as in Scoundrels, where we see him do stuff to try and get that back. Essentially, it's kind of like he's getting it and he has it, but somehow he keeps getting pulled back to the rebellion. So basically that's what it is Rascal's like, look, I know you have money. You must have money. So you give me, your stuff, and I won't turn you in. But if you don't, I'll take you to Jabba. So Han doesn't have it on him at the moment. So he convinces Rascal that Han hid his money on Hoth. That's why they're there. They don't want him to know that the rebels are there. They want him to think that, oh, Han hid his money there. So it's kind of this whole wild goose chase. They go and find a Luna spice, ultimately, which is this very valuable spice. Now, Han claims that instead of in credits, they were paid in that. That was his reward. And basically, he's like, well, here's the thing. This is mine, but you can have, half of it. But they have this fight. They fight these creatures guarding it. It's kind of, the creatures that they fight are kind of like the Night Beast, I guess, in a way. Not really, or not the Night Beast, I'm sorry, the Serpent Masters. If you can get a good look at them there, they are similar to that. And so, then eventually they get off the planet. Things are okay, but wait till next week, and then of course, there's some things there. So the title is very misleading. A New Beginning. I don't really see how this is a new beginning. I mean, maybe you can make some arguments. You could say, oh, Han is going on a new beginning, because he's, paying this guy what he thinks is his new, what he thinks is his debt. Or maybe it's Rascal is saying, oh, if I get this money, it's a new beginning for me. I don't know. It's a very misleading title. So the question that we always have to ask here, is this an essential read in your Star Wars, Expanded Universe reading? No. I think that's a pretty obvious one. This is not an essential read at all. It's not an essential read for modern EU readers, and it's not an essential read for the newspaper strip readers. Honestly, this is a very skippable and very forgettable, I'll say, story in the Star Wars Legends continuity. So you're not going to get much for skipping it. It's not a horrible story. I mean, I don't think it's, a bad story. It's just nothing really comes from this. There really isn't, even in the next story, there really isn't too much that you'll miss if you choose to skip over this story. So if you choose to do that, totally your call. So anyways, folks, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time with another episode of the Star Wars Library.